Available now on Blu-ray from MVD is Action USA from 1989. This had previously been released by Vinegar Syndrome on Blu-ray, but MVD has it now for a very fair price. I paid, and boy, is this movie fun. This is a film I had heard about for a while. I believe Alamo Drafthouse had this in the theater pre-pandemic several years ago. I remember getting a lot of talk. It was like this movie that had been rediscovered and sort of like the next Dangerous Men or Miami Connection or something like that. And it is directed by Jon Stewart, not the guy who wrote Daydream Believer and not the guy who used to host The Daily Show. This is Jon Stewart, stunt guy who directed a couple movies, this being one of them. And boy, this is what happens when you give a stunt man the ability to direct a movie. He fills it with stunts. Not a lot of story getting in the way of the plot, as Joe Bob used to say. This, the basic setup is lady is with her guy and they're getting friendly in his apartment. Bad guys bust in, whisk the guy away because he owes somebody some money or something like that. They dangle the guy out of a helicopter and eventually just drop him in the water. The dangling out of the helicopter, pretty darn good stunt. And then the bad guys figure out this woman's a witness and they're trying to take her out before she can testify. And two FBI guys show up and it is just, they hit the ground running. It is almost a nonstop chase with very little bits of downtime in between. The head bad guy is Ross Hagen. One of his henchmen is Hoke Howell, who's a lot of fun. And you also, I think Cameron Mitchell is the big bad guy who you see for like 2 minutes, as Cameron Mitchell often was. He's in a hot tub with some babes. He's on a couch with some babes. He's yelling at some people on the phone. He picks up a check and he leaves. That part's off camera. And Ross Hagen is just this duster, cowboy hat wearing assassin who, with two other guys in a souped up car, are chasing our heroes and shooting at them, and things blow up and cars hit ramps and corkscrew and gas stations explode with flaming tires raining down, really, and people fall out of windows and jump out of windows and say really funny things right before they're about to die. It's made with a sense of humor. It's very laughable. I'm sure this has been touched upon by the Mystery Science Theater or the Riff Tracks or those kind of guys because it's got a lot of meat on that bone, but it's done with a sense of fun. It is a very, very fun, breezy movie. It just rockets right along. It had me giggling throughout. It had me rewinding to watch some of the stunts throughout. It's a heck of a lot of fun. Apparently this had a VHS release in the late 80s, early 90s. I don't ever remember seeing it anywhere. I never heard about it until the Alamo sort of tried to resurrect it and make it a thing. And then Vinegar Syndrome had it out and people were talking about it. This is a heck of a lot of fun. The disc has a couple of extras. It's got a commentary by the director and some of the crew and cast. And it has a sizable, it's got a behind the scenes section. And it's got an interview that was done for Fantastic Fest, which the Alamo used to put on. Still happens. I don't know if the Alamo's involved anymore. And it is the director, Jon Stewart, being interviewed by Brian Trenchard Smith, Australian B-movie director, famous for stunt rock, so he knows his way around stunts, and they just talk about the making of the movie, and that's a lot of fun too. So this is a total blast. Highly recommend getting this on Blu-ray from MVD. Available now, Action USA.